Oh, I know now. I know why. I know why. Because I've been a complete idiot. I haven't included. Sorry. Well, can anyone hear me now then? Yeah, I believe so, because I was a complete idiota. Go and mute it. I didn't put the volume up, and hopefully now you can hear me fine. Yep. So for the past 3 minutes, I was talking to my actually the full 18 minutes. Well, 3 minutes. Yeah, that's correct. My maths is so good, and yeah, I forgot to put on my volume. So apologies if you guys have been staring at a blank screen, watching cars go around in circles. So, well, you guys pretty much are more happy that way, I would assume, because, well, you don't have to listen to this annoying voice. But going down the pecking order, I think at the moment, yeah, the soft tires obviously produces the fastest lap, and the mediums, well, Label showing himself well in P3 mediums at the moment. But ooh, Dustin on hards, a 13.4. That's not a bad lap from Dustin. If he can maintain that, is he gonna go for the alternate strategy? That would be interesting to see. Um, Other than that, I think yeah, MS Fanta coming into the pits in the Williams. We have a full lobby by the way, so kudos to the drivers. Oh, that's a close pit exit between the Williams, Red Bull, and McLaren. But luckily, it's not like real life. We have the ghosting system in game, so I'm not sure if you guys are getting game audio because I'm not at the moment, so that's not good. Hopefully that gets sorted out soon. Yeah, all I hear is yeah. So if you guys don't, well, obviously you guys don't know, but give him a quick shout out. Vapid is behind the scenes, so any technical problem, he'll let me know. So, and if anybody retires, who knows, maybe he will join. So, at the moment, things are not, well, obviously not much action going on, apart from these guys getting a bank collapse in and then preparing themselves for the final run. Alpha RT currently in P12 on the hard tires, so yeah, he's yet to set a quick lap, I would assume. Tires very harsh around this track, and so you would think that most drivers would be avoiding the softest compound, as the tires would just deteriorate over the course of the lap. A bit of a traffic jam behind RT there, as both drivers wanting to set a lap, and looks like the Red Bull's gonna have a harder time as no, never mind. Both of them coming into the pits. Okay, so completely jinxed that. Paul on the softs. So quite a few actually going to the soft compound. As I said, no one is gonna go to that set of tires. Literally, there's a decent amount, about 8 drivers. So Joe, he's managed to rejoin the session. That's good. 8 minutes remaining. We have yellow flags in sector 2. I guess those are for slow moving vehicles as Axe Curve goes to provisional pole on a 111.5 on the softs. So, yep, Axe Curve doing well. I believe he's a reserve, so he doesn't have a full-time seat, but good for him. He is at the moment leading the way. Advanced Fish in P3. Didn't have the best race around Britain last weekend, so he'll be looking forward to make inroads on his not so good weekend last week. MS Joe's in P4, T10 Denzel in P6, which gets knocked down by Perez, just momentarily. He puts himself into P5. Okay, so 8 minutes left. If you guys have anything to say, you guys can say it in the chat. I'll, keep you guys posted. Not keep you guys posted. You guys keep me posted about anything, and I will try to see if I can answer them. So, yeah. So, Vapid says first DNF to be Scott and Dustin. Oh no, Scott. First DNF to be Scott and Dustin will win. Okay, so okay, we'll keep that in mind. See if Vapid gets the correct guess, but most of the time his predictions are absolutely wrong to the limit. So yeah. Anyways, looking down the grid, Pulse put himself into P2, 1:11.585, only a few hundredths off X Curve's time. So he'll be looking to improve that if he can, because he still has time. So I think there's still a bit of time on the table to be found over the course of these laps. And the top three actually quite close to each other in terms of lap time, so only about 2/10. So we may see more people getting closer, but yeah, we'll see. Thorpe says he predicts Paul to retire first and Beast to win. Okay, so Paul at the moment is sitting nicely in P2. So I don't think he'll be risking much as X Curve. No, that's Lewis. Puts himself into provisional pole. So good stuff from Lewis, championship leader. Paul and Advance Fish doing well. The two McLarens putting themselves third and fourth at the moment. Okay, so I don't think. Oh, Tom. I was about to say I'm only seeing one Haas, and yeah, Tom. I just realized he's retired from this qualifying session at least. So hopefully he can at least race. So Tom has a quali ban, I would assume. Yeah, I think he has a quali ban. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, Vap is pretty handy in the background there. He just said Tom has a chat ban, so the chat ban has completely everything to do with this qualifying session, has it? But anyway, yeah, not to throw too much shade. He's very helpful and pretty much like a commentator's Jeff, really. Even though sometimes they can be annoying, but yeah, very helpful. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I'm running out of topics to talk about actually. So if you guys can maybe get some topics in, I'll try to get conversation going, as there's a bit of a kerfuffle in the pit lane right now, as everybody's coming in, getting ready to start a new lap. Yeah, Vapid's pretty lucky that no one heard whatever he just said, but I just exposed him like no tomorrow, so that's great. Anyways, so who's your money to take pole position? Leave it in the chat, and I think many of you would go for Lewis. Maybe some of you may go for the likes of Axcurve as well. He's proven to have a lot of pace, but I don't know. I think one of the McLarens have the pace to get pole today, so I'll keep an eye on that. Definitely not McLaren fanboying at the moment, but yeah, they look legit. So let's see. As Label Red Devil starting a lap, we're right on board with him. Heading into turn one, flicks the car in very nicely. Oh, loses the back end, and well, that's pretty much his lap ruin, I would say. Um, Damon Rock says there's an interesting choice of strategy. Yeah, I would agree because the soft tires, like you mentioned before, deteriorate very quickly. So yeah, we may be seeing a two-stop. I'm not entirely sure, but if we have to, I would welcome it. So two-stop, why not? Um, Looks like Label's backed out of this lap, I think. Yeah, kind of. So it's unfortunate. I was about to go on a lap with him. Um, 2 minutes of the session, 2.5 minutes of the session remaining. Ooh, someone's going very slowly. All right. So at the well, for this race, it's gonna be Label Red Devils' 50th RFL appearance, and that is quite a milestone, I would say. As is it consecutive? I would think maybe not. I think, but he's made 50 RFL appearances, which is quite amazing. And Paul puts it up into provisional poll. Can anyone beat that? BMG Lewis is at the pits at the moment, so I'm not sure if he's going to come out still. But at the moment, only 700s in it. And who is going to get pole position today here at Tier 2? Can Advanced Fish do anything? He's on the outlap, so we'll keep an eye on him. Amos Joels looks like he's on the fast lap. There's quite a lot of traffic in his way, though. He's going to have to navigate through that. And yeah, traffic gets out of the way nicely before they can obstruct him. Label Red Devil around the fast right towards turn 10. Yeah, everyone just literally going off circuit, trying to avoid Label, not to get in the way. And round the final corner comes Label Red Devil. Oh, goes very wide indeed. That's his tires screaming for mercy. Across the line goes Label. He doesn't improve. And that is him still in P7 at least. And Miss Jules still stuck behind. Well, not stuck behind. He's yet to start a lap, I would think. Advanced Fish round the hairpin. Heading towards the Mercedes grandstand. Is he gonna hit the apex nicely? Yeah, he does. What's his split like? Ooh, the back end going out. So losing traction. So it looks like these tires overheat quite a bit. He's about 2/10 down. Well, up. Up or down. Well, 2/10 slower than his previous best. So coming around the final few sequence of corners, qualifying has ended. Pole is on provisional pole. Round the final corner, goes very wide, does Advanced Fish. Across the line, he still maintains in P4. So it's a McLaren 1-4 at the moment. Looking down the grid, Rampage across the line. He's improved by 1.3 seconds, I think. And he is... Oh, Label collects Fanta. But I believe Label isn't on a fast lap anyway, so that is no harm done. Denzel in P8. Perez, I think he's finishing up a lap. No, he's not. He's backed out of that one. Looks like everyone's backed out of their laps. And this should be your qualifying starting grid. Your qualifying order and your starting grid. Yep, that's what I meant. BMG Lewis, yeah, with a broken front wing, he should be not be improving. And so Paul is your pole position man for RFL Germany Tier 2. BMG Lewis is on the front row with Paul. X Curve in third. Advanced Fish alongside. And AMS Joels is sitting nicely in P5. Adam Lee, P6. Rampage you have in P7. T10 Denzel in P8. Label Red Devil, 50th appearance in P9. Esperez in 10th. Kingley in 11th. Beast in 12th. Drift King Pro in 13, I want to say. And as we look to the official results. Yep, so Beast in 13, 14 you have Drift King Pro, Joe in 15, 16 Alpha RT, 17 Scott, MS Banta in P18, Dongarang in 19, and Tom Gorian not participating in this qualifying session. So interesting stuff from qualifying. So let's see if these guys... Oh, actually I didn't pick this up, but Axe Curve and Advanced Fish both have 5 place grid penalties. So they're going to be dropping down to P9, I want to say, for Advanced Fish. Or P10. So, yeah, it's okay. So some of the guys are going to get promoted up the grid. Didn't even see what happened. Maybe it happened early on in qualifying. And didn't manage to pick that up. But, yeah, so at the moment, leave your predictions on who's going to win. And... well, everybody's asking if the safety car is on. So, well, as much as we love to see the safety car, sometimes it gets a bit boring. Sad to say. Sometimes it just comes out too often. And I think some of you, some may say it comes out too less. So, depending on games, I think, yeah, sometimes it's just different accounts get different game modes. I don't know. I don't play the game too much, but to know these kind of things. But anyways, 34 laps around the Hockenheim ring. Who's gonna be the victor today? Will it be Paul? Will it be BMG Lewis? Or will it be someone else? We won't know. 13 of you viewing at the moment. Thank you for joining us today. If you're just viewing right now, well, as it stands, this is your starting grid. Advanced Fish starts in P9 after a 5-place grid drop from P4, and Axe Curve starts in P7. So P7 for Axe Curve. So he's gonna have to do a little bit more work. Same as for Advanced Fish, if they want to recover back up to their qualifying positions. But yeah, starting at the mid-pack, so that may not be the best position to start in, as some of the drivers are already on the grid, so that's great. These guys getting their tire temps up, trying to get the heat in as much as they can. And obviously, they don't want to get too much heat if they're starting on the softs, or else they're going to ruin their races. Quite a few of them, actually, many of them starting on the medium compound. The lower half of the grid, at least, going for the mediums, and Dongarang going for the hards. Dustin is the only one in the top 10 to start on the mediums, so he's gonna have a slower start, but a more faster second half of the race, you would think. Well, not second half, but as the soft tires deteriorate, he's going to shine through. So keep an eye as the drivers are lining up to the grid now. RFL Germany, 34 laps. Who is going to come out on top? As the final car slots into the grid slot, Tom Gorian, Paul, starting on pole, BMG Lewis alongside. Who's going to challenge in the turn 1? Lights are on, the lights are out, and nope, the lights are not out. Nice glitch, lights out, and away we go. And Adam Lee has a massive jump start, so that's going to be a drive-through for him. Heading down the, massive, well, 3-way battle between the Williams, McLaren, and I want to say one of the Racing Points, heading into turn 2, sorry. And at the moment, leading away is Adam Lee, but he's yet to pit. He has to serve that drive-through. BMG Lewis all over the back of pole now, heading into turn number 4, the hairpin. We'll see a lot of overtakes here. Side by side between the two drivers. Lewis has the championship at stake. Paul fighting with all he can, squeezing him towards the apex. And looks like Lewis comes out on top, or does Paul set up the inside into the grandstand? Yes, he does. Going side by side with Lewis. And looks like Lewis just gets the upper hand for now. And he is up into provisional first place. The two Renaults getting off to a good start. And looking down the grid, looks like all is well, nothing much happening. So all the way down to Tom, apart from RT, he's had a very, very bad start. He's lost his whole wing, so he is, well, that is his race ruin unless the safety car is to come out. So Lewis, well, Adam still leading the way. He's yet to serve that drive-through, but Lewis getting a great start, putting himself up into the net lead of the race. Dustin in P5, sitting nicely on his medium tires. Is he gonna overtake his teammate into the hairpin here? As they head into turn 4, who's it gonna be? MS Joe's not putting up a challenge for his teammate and lets him by nicely because he knows that's not his fight. Up the inside goes T10 Denzel on Rampage. That was not that wasn't the best move to make because in doing that he's lost the place to Label Red Devil, but he's got to run into the grandstand. He's sending it up the inside. Oh, nearly collects Rampage there, and very, very lucky to just skate through across Label Red Devil. So that was very close between these drivers, so they're gonna have to watch out as this may cost them quite a bit if they are not careful. Advanced Fish has had a torrid start. He started in P9 and he's dropped down to P10, so I'm not sure where's his pace gone. But Paul at the moment sets the fastest lap of the race, so he is currently the fastest driver at the moment. So, and Adam still not wanting. Oh, Paul has left the session, so that's unfortunate for Paul. Hopefully someone can get him in, because he was having a great scrap with Lewis, as Lewis is now overtaking Adam Lee for the net lead of the race. Adam Lee, don't think he has much to fight Lewis for, so he is going to stick behind unless he gets a massive tow, which he's not going to send it up the inside. Lewis goes a bit wide, still side by side between Lewis and Adam, but Adam stays behind for now. He gets an absolute run, but I would think Adam is going to have to serve that drive-through by the end of this lap, or else he may get the disqualified or a further penalty. Label Red Devil some ways behind Paul, but Paul is going to have to find a way to get back into the lobby. X Curve down in P7. So his start was an okay start. He didn't get the massive start that he needed. But yeah, Adam Lee pits. So looking down the grid, looks like Advanced Fish has pitted as well. Not sure why. He's pitted for a new set of tires. So that fast, the soft tires have already gone. So let's see if these guys can do anything about it. Oh, actually, Dustin is now up into P2 on the medium tires, so he's challenging BMG Lewis for the net race lead. And I don't know, is Lewis's tires gone at the moment? Because yeah, he's absolutely lost the gap that he had to Dustin. Paul has disconnected, that's why Lewis gained a few positions, I would think. And RT picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that's not good for him. And Renault's doing split strategies, so let's see how they play out. See if they can convert this into a better finishing result. Yellow flags in sector 3. Something that is... Oh, actually, that is for someone. That is for Scott. I'm not sure what's happened. Yeah, looks like he's spun or something. So he is going pretty slow, so hopefully he doesn't go too slow. Oh, well, there goes Scott. So I guess even in the dry, at the drag strip, you can spin as well. So let alone the wet. But at the moment, as you can see, it's Dustin all over the back of Lewis, sends it up the inside. That was a, well, that move was uncounted for. Dustin obviously didn't see that coming, but Lewis braking very, very early, and that caught Dustin out to make a move up the inside. But that was a little bit too quick for Dustin's liking. Then he goes deep. Lewis does the switch back. So Lewis still leading at the moment. What's interesting to see is the fight between Axe Curve and Label Red Devil, because it looks like Label all over the back of the Mercedes as lap 5 is about to end. So are these drivers about to pit? Any of them are going to pit? No is the answer. So at the moment, still doing well. Dustin, DRS wide open for the Renault. Label picks up a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, that is unfortunate for Label. So he's going to have to calculate that into his strategy if going to the end of this race. And look at this, the traction, the grip, all over the back of BMG Lewis, passing BMG Lewis and into the hairpin. Salzica Dustin is your new race leader. BMG Lewis tires just not giving him the grip that he needs, as Axe Curve and Label Red Devil going side by side out of the hairpin, heading towards the grandstand. Now, whoa, Label being squeezed out by the Mercedes, and looks like that well, still looks like an okay move, but I think Label will not be happy with that. But Amos Fanta all over the back of Perez. They're both on soft tires, so they're going to go long into this race. Is Lewis going to pit? Yes, he is. Coming into the pits is BMG Lewis. I would assume going to a set of medium tires, or maybe the hards. Can the hards go to the end? That's the question. What tires is he going to put? Amos Jones reacting to BMG Lewis as well. Soft tires going on to the Alfa Romeo. And what is the Renault going to do? He's on mediums as well. So this suggests to me this is going to be a two-stop, and most of the drivers are going to do that started on the soft tires. So Dustin is going to do the one stop, you would think, going to the hards for the end of the race, unless he thinks otherwise. So this is his time to pull out the gap that he needs. Label Red Devil on the soft tires, he's yet to pit, so I would think he's going to pit now by the end of this lap, or else his tires are going to go off the cliff if he continues to go. Paul has rejoined the session, but I think that's a little bit too late for now. He's down, his AI car is all the way down to P16. Amos Fanta, I think I just saw going very wide at the exit of turn 8. But at the moment, all looking fine and dandy. Not many major crashes, which is quite interesting considering last race. We don't have to talk about it, but yeah, good to see decent racecraft from these drivers. So at the moment, Label Red Devil into the pits. He's gonna put on a set of hard tires, so he's betting on the fact he's gonna go to the end of it. He's betting that he can go to the end of his race. So let's see where he ends up by the end of his race. Advanced Fish right up all over the back of Axe Curve. Obviously Advanced Fish, a bit of a offset strategy at the moment. It's different to the others, but he's finding a lot of pace at the moment. He's all over the back of Axe Curve. A bit hard to pronounce. I'm sorry if I butchered the name a little bit. But he's very low on ERS. Sends it up the inside into the hairpin. Axe Curve saw it coming. They will bang at the exit of the corner. Scott has retired from the race, but side by side around turn 5, and Axe Curve manages to hold the inside. Advanced Fish looking to the inside, but he is not finding an avenue through there. So Perez, yellow flag in sector 3. Not sure who that's for. Okay, well, Joe has disconnected, I would think, according to the ghost car. But yeah, sector 1 yellow flag. Fanta is retired from the race. He's crashed at turn 1, at the exit of turn 1. So that is unfortunate for Fanta. He was challenging for a P5 or P4, I would think. And now We focus on Amos Joels, all of the back of Dongarang. Dongarang also on the offset strategy, starting on the hard, so he's gonna have to clear him very quickly, and so does the Renault driver. And he is up into P7. Meanwhile, BMG Lewis passing Beast Tornadoes, also on a different strategy. But Beast getting a run, heading towards the Mercedes grandstand. He's going to send it up the inside. No, he doesn't. Lewis leaves the room. And at the moment, Lewis still sticks ahead of Beast. And Amos Joels is the car behind Beast Tornadoes at the moment. So lap 10 now. Dustin still continuing on this race on this set of tires. I would think he will still go much longer. Maybe around lap 12, 13 maybe, or even longer, I don't know. But Tom has managed to put himself right behind Perez in P3. So this will be interesting for Tom, if because he's had the quali ban, so he is started last essentially, and he is now up in P3. So if he can play his cards right, I think he's on for a very good finishing position, because he's on the one stop. The guys behind him, although they're going to be fast like up at the end of the race, but he's going to have the more durable tires on, so the strategies will all pan out nicely going to the end of the race. It's just a matter of who is in what position, that's all. But Advanced Fish, I think he's lost touch to Axe Curve's tires, working up to temperature now, so looks like Advanced Fish can't challenge the 3-lap younger tires of Axe Curve, and Axe Curve now catching up to Dongarang. Dongarang is an X at the moment, so hopefully that wouldn't persist on, and that would negate itself, that bad connection. As Rampage and Adam Lee going at it. Mercedes versus Ferrari, but this is not the usual scenes you used to in real life. So is Adam Lee going to make a move on Rampage, heading into turn 1? Rampage defends the inside of the corner, switch back from Adam Lee, and that is Adam Lee up into P12. Very smart driving from the Ferrari driver. So looking at the top fight, I think at the moment things have settled down a little bit. BMG Lewis ahead of Drift King Pro, so I believe Drift King Pro just let Lewis by because he's on a different strategy, of course. So, oh, actually there's quite a battle going on as Axcurve has made a move on Dongarang already. So can Advanced Fish make a move on the Toro Rosso as he hits into turn 10? Looks like he has much better grip, maybe, or looks like Dongarang is just has a different pace because he's on the hard tires. We'll see, as DRS is available for Advanced Fish to utilize, but he's very, very low on ERS, so he's gonna have to do some ERS management soon. As he hits towards the Parabolica straight, looks like Dongarang is losing quite a bit of ground, so this should be an easy move for Advanced Fish, heading into the hairpin, side by side around Parabolica, and that is Advanced Fish up into P9, Dongarang down into P10. Label Red Devil has made a stop, and he's down in P11, so he's going to the end. Well, at least the strategy suggests that. Can he make it? That is the question. And looking further down the grid, as Fenta has left the session, he's unfortunately crashed out from P5s out of this corner right here. So that is unfortunate for the Williams driver. As, oh, look at this, Tom and Perez getting very close to each other. Only 4/10 is the difference. We all know how racy Tom and Perez can be. So as they head towards the Parabolica straight, yep, DRS is going to be available for Tom. ERS is well there for him to utilize as they head towards turn 4. Tom pulls out of the slipstream, heading into turn number 4. Will Perez try to do the switch back? He hasn't. Well, he thinks about it, but nothing going on for him. And Tom is up into P2. So Perez now will have the DRS effect. So can he do a similar move on Tom come the next lap if he can maintain the gap, that is? But Tom at the moment absolutely flying at lap 13 of this race. BMG Lewis catching up to the battle for P2 as well. So you would think the medium tires, or the guys starting on medium tires, would pit soon, as Perez is the first to react to the strategy for the medium tire runners, and he is now into the pits. So I would assume he's going to go onto the hard tires. Yes, he does. And he'll be going to the end of this race. So it'd be interesting to see if Tom will react to this come the end of this lap, because the undercut may be quite effective, and that's the last thing that Tom wants, sorry, for Perez to undercut him. As we have a battle between Beast and Drift King Pro, the two medium tire starters, and Beast is up into P4 ahead of Drift King Pro. So these guys, I think, yeah, they're gonna pit soon. So who is gonna blink first? That's the question. As Dustin comes around the final penultimate corner, he's opted not to pit. So yeah, so he's continuing on. He's happy with the gap he has at the moment. 12 seconds all the way to Tom. And is Tom gonna react to Perez? No, he's not. So he still thinks he has life in his tires to push for at least a few more laps before he comes in for a stop. Drift King Pro is into the pits, so he's gonna have to slow that down. Yep, yellow flags for sector 2 and 3. Oh, that is Paul going for a spin. Yeah, he's had a torrid race after his disconnection, so that's, yeah, unfortunate for Paul. As out the pits comes Drift King Pro on the hard tires. He's come out right behind Rampage, who is on a different strategy, so he's gonna have to clear him pretty quickly if he doesn't want to get held up. Labor Red Devil gaining on Dongarang heading into turn 4, and 7 lap old difference in tires. That is, ooh, actually, Dongarang thinking about a challenge, but traction just not there for the Toro Rosso. As we look towards the front. Yep, into the pits comes Dustin. Oh, Dustin, be careful there. He nearly went into the barrier. That was so close. Well, I was worried for him for a second. He probably has it under control, but I was shocked at that stage. Is Tom continuing on? Yes, he is continuing on. So he still thinks the life in the tires is still there. Obviously, he started on a fresh set of tires compared to Dustin, so he can afford to go longer. Dustin comes out in P3, so well, essentially he's gonna come out back into the race lead, and he doesn't have to worry about overtaking cars unless BMG Lewis decides to hold him up, as he's not that far behind. Dustin is, but saying that, Lewis is not too far behind Tom Gorian, so Tom may be struggling on his very worn medium tires at the moment. Where is he going to put his Haas come the end of this lap? Will it be the start-finish straight, or will it be his pit box? As he comes around turn 10 for the 16th time, is he going to get out of the way of Lewis, or is he planning to hold him up at least? He decides to come in and not hold up BMG Lewis, so that relinquishes Lewis back into the lead of this race. But Dustin, crucially, pretty much, I would say, a pit stops window ahead of Lewis. and his teammate is right behind him as well. So Renault are having an absolute cracking race at the moment, even though Jules has to pit again. But Advanced Fish is about 4 seconds behind. So if he pits with Lewis, then I think both of them are up for a tasty battle. But Dustin, at the moment, is absolutely flying at lap 17. Ooh, there's a battle between the X Curve and Advanced Fish. Advanced Fish up the inside of turn 4 X Curve, having a run towards the Mercedes Grandstand. Turn 7, oh, very close, very easy to spin out there. But they both navigate through nicely. Oh, as Paul doing a bit of lawn mowing there. Not a good day for him. As Advanced Fish still ahead of X Curve, heading into turn 10. Can X Curve mount a challenge towards the start-finish rate, or maybe one of the straights? And at the moment, nothing going for him there. He has DRS though. Label Red Devil up in P6. He's on 9 lap old hard tires, and he still has a number of laps to go. So we'll keep an eye on his pace, on his progress. Dongarang, 17 lap old tires. Right behind him is S. Perez, who's pitted for hard tires 4 laps ago. And he's going to make a pass on Dongarang. And, oh, actually, Tom Gorian has actually gained quite a few seconds on Perez, because, oh, actually, maybe he's lost time to Perez, because I think he overtaken earlier on this race. So I guess the undercut was faster, but Tom, crucially, has fresher tires all over the back of Perez. So he's going to be applying the blowtorch to the racing point as the laps go by. BMG Lewis starts lap 19, and 12 laps are going to be going on to this set of medium tires. So I think we saw Tom going to lap 15 or lap 16, so I think that's a few more laps until BMG Lewis goes into the pits for his either another set of softs or another set of mediums. I would think mediums, because they are more durable, and technically they are more faster going to the end of the race. Advanced Fish having a go at Axe Curve once again, round the Parabolica, up the inside into turn 4, as we have a battle at the background as well. Advanced Fish gets the move done, but Tom up the inside of S. Perez, and that is the move done for Tom. And now, person in front of him is his teammate. So will his teammate make life easy for Tom, or is this going to be a inter-team rivalry between the two Haas boys? So let's see. They're both on different strategies, so I would imagine that they wouldn't want to trip over each other to compromise the team points. So they're going to have to work as a team if they want to get the most points out of this. Axe Curve. Oh, well, actually, Advanced Fish pills into the pit lane. He's done 15 laps on these tires. And BMG Lewis is into the pits. I completely missed that, as he comes out just ahead of the two Haas boys. So that is good for Lewis, as that's 2 less cars that he has to overtake on track and lose time to Dustin, because he's effectively 1 stop down on Dustin, and he has to gain it all back on this set of tires, medium tires this is. And Tom up the inside of his teammate. So I think that is a pretty easy switch between the two Haas drivers, as the gap between the top 5 isn't really that big, and they're all concertinaing up to each other. So let's see. This may well be a cracking end to the end of this race. But looks like Dustin and Amos Joels Dustin opting to stay behind his teammate. So, interesting tactic that Renault are playing at the moment, but I think they've both practiced this well already. And AMS Joels is the lead Renault at the moment. And Dustin will have the DRS. So maybe they're playing the DRS game, giving each other DRS, supporting each other down the straight, slingshot each other pretty much. And yeah, AMS Joels pretty much breaks earlier than he would have wanted to allow his teammate to peel away and not affect his race time. So the gap between BMG Lewis and Dustin is about 8 seconds, 9 seconds. So yeah, 9 seconds to catch up to Dustin when his tires aren't really that worn. So yeah, this would be interesting if Lewis can pull this strategy off. If you can pull this strategy off, then well, then I don't know. You guys put in the words. I have no words to I don't know the perfect vocabularies, I guess. As AMS Joels peels into the pit lane to serve his final stop. Where is he going to filter out in all of this? That's the question. BG Lewis sets the fastest lap at 1:15 flat. Can AMS Joels put the fight to the guys ahead of him as he exits the pit lane just ahead of Drift King Pro? Yes, just ahead of Drift King Pro. And he may be vulnerable to him, but Drift King Pro is on the hard tires, so AMS Joels may have the better grip, I think. Even though he has the DRS, does Drift King. So down the Parabolica straight, Joel's swerving out of the slipstream to negate the slipstream effect. Up the inside goes the Alfa Romeo, nothing going for him there, and he is slotting behind in P8. AMS Joels can go on his merry way to chase after the likes of Beast and Perez, maybe even Label Red Devil. And S. Perez is also not too far behind Label Red Devil as well. So yeah, Label, he's on pretty worn out hards. Well, not worn out, but older, much older hards compared to Perez's hards. So heading into turn 1, looks like Label track extend, and that's a penalty to his name. Yeah, as a few of you pointing out that the clouds are getting darker, but I think, yeah, someone said it's going to be a full dry race as Adam Lee completely smashes the fastest lap. So I don't imagine anyone's going to be beating that now, as Perez makes a move on Label. Label doesn't have anything to answer for it, so is Perez coming to his own now? Because looks like he's finding some decent pace and he's catching up to Tom, I would think. So yeah, let's see if Perez can overtake Tom for the podium of this race. BMG Lewis closed up about 3 seconds to Dustin. So yeah, it's going to be close as there's 10 laps to go until the end of this race. Can BMG Lewis catch up to Dustin? And can Dustin defend from BMG Lewis? Who is going to win? We won't know. So until the last lap, last corner, then we only can predict who's going to win. But yeah, Ninja saying Aaron third. That was his prediction. So yep, so that is extra morale for Perez as he's continuing on to catch up to Tom. But in saying that, Label is not dropping back as far as he would. Sends it up the inside into turn 4. Perez saw that coming, does the switch back, and that is a desperate move from Label to try and offset Perez so that he can't catch his teammate. And this indicates to me that maybe Label will go to the end of this race, unless he wants to go for a fast lap or something. But I think that would affect him quite a bit But in saying that, you have a very fast AMS Joel charging at Label Red Devil as well. So you have a yellow flag at sector 2. That's for Adam Lee, I would think. He's crashed out of the race. Not having a good race is Adam Lee. That jump start at the start just did nothing for him. Vapid said in the chat, Tom for president. So yeah, Tom at the moment doing a stellar job in P3, starting from last. Man, if you can convert this into P3, that would be an amazing accomplishment for Tom there. BMG Lewis all the way continuing to catch up to Dustin. He's about 4 seconds is the difference. Rampage picks up a penalty. Right, and at the moment, as things stand, ooh, you have I want to say a 4-way scrap for P4, a 4-way scrap for P4. So all the way down to Beast Tornadoes from P4. They're all challenging for P4. Well, I mean, if any of them makes mistakes, one of these guys will be capitalizing on that for sure. They're all within DRS range, so not sure if the DRS is going to be powerful enough to have an effect on these guys, but Perez doing all he can to break the toe, and Label is going round the outside. Joes just tries to do the switchback, but in doing that, he's just gone into the back rear left tire. Rear tire. Oh, as Fish getting very close with Joes there, and Fish going up the inside of Joes. That was a lot of wheel banging. I would imagine both of them not very happy with each other, as Vance Fish forces his way up into P7. So Joes is definitely not going to be happy. Oh, that's too much from Joes there. He's asking too much into one corner, and he takes out Advanced Fish with him into the gravel trap. And that ruins his whole race pretty much, and yeah, that is him out of contention for a good race result. Axe curve, all of the back of Drift King Pro. He's gonna send it up the inside. No, he doesn't. He wants the DRS for this long parabolic straight. DRS is going to be active for him. This should be a slam dunk, easy move for slam dunk, easy move for Axe Curve as they head into the hairpin. Switch back from Drift King, but not enough grip in it to make a move. Ooh, BMG Lewis has caught up. Is now only behind Dustin by 1.7 seconds, so he's gonna catch up to Dustin within a few laps, and Dustin just has to hang on for another few laps. Who's gonna win? We'll let that battle boil, I don't know, let that boil up as I hit my hand. So yeah, that's great. Label all over the back of Perez once again. The DRS is so powerful down the straight. As there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Not sure who's that for. Joel's has retired. Perez fighting Label all he can. Label on much older tires, 20 lap old tires, and Perez still stays ahead. And BMG Lewis now. This is the battle we want to see. It's between Dustin and Lewis for the lead. Two very different strategies. One is a one stop, one is a two stop. And at the moment, it looks like the two-stop is working compared to the one-stop. So Lewis gets an absolute run on Dustin heading into turn 1. But I would imagine that he wants to stay behind. Oh, actually, Dustin has picked up damage, so that is why he's lost so much pace over such little time. So, yeah, I found that it was very, very odd that Dustin was going so slowly. But the DRS playing into Dustin's hands, he played it smart at the start of straight. And now they're going side by side. Traction. Who's going to have the better traction out of the corner? They're both pretty equal as they head towards the Mercedes grandstand. Dustin will have limited downforce as he switches to the outside, switches back to the inside for the next corner. Around the outside, he's going to have to go, and that is the downforce that Dustin is lacking, that he needs to go around the outside of that corner. And Dustin will have to sit behind and I think settle for P2. But he's going to have to watch out as Tom is very rapid as well, coming right up behind him. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Alpha RT goes for the fastest lap. Smashes it once again, but I don't think... Oh, well, actually, I think he'll get the fastest lap because RFL does fastest lap, and it doesn't have to be in the top 10. Look at this battle for P4. Who is it going to be? Perez, Beast, or Label? We had one person eliminated. Our Label picks up another time penalty, so maybe Label will be out of contention. Well, he can make the move, but he may be dropped back down to P6 where he is at the moment. But Beast, can he make a pounce on Perez? As the DRS comes into effect for Beast as he heads into turn 4. Nothing going for the Torosso at the moment. In saying that, Perez goes very deep. So, but Beast still has to contend with P5. At least for maybe a few more laps. And Dustin, yeah, he's losing ground to Tom. But he just has to hang on for a few more laps. Well, if he picks up a penalty, well, that will not help him in the slightest. But yeah, unfortunate for Dustin. But yeah, this is racing, I guess. And sometimes you just have to take it in the chin. But you can't discount the fact that BMG Lewis has done a stunning job as well. He's done this. He's gone to do the two-stop. He was, well, I wouldn't say on the back foot, but yeah, the strategy-wise, it wasn't looking good because he has to make one more stop. But in doing that, looks like that was the fastest way anyhow. As Advanced Fish picks up another penalty. So for the 31st time, 31 laps around the Hockenheim ring. 3 more to go. It's anyone's game at the moment for the battle for P4 as Beast Tornadoes has made his way up into P4 as I completely missed that. So apologies for that then. But yeah, looks like Beast coming to his own as his tires are the freshest among the two behind him. And Axe Curve also catching up to this pair. Will he be able to get Label? That's the question. Label has a few penalties to his name. I think we're going to check that out since there's nothing much going on. Check for the leaders first. So Lewis is penalty free. So no, Dustin has a penalty. So Tom, if he catches up within 3 seconds, yeah, he's gonna get past Dustin. But Beast has a penalty. Perez has a penalty. So penalty. Yeah, Label has 3 penalties, so that's at least 9 seconds. So at the moment, looks like Axe Curve will get Label Red Devil come the end of this race. And Dustin still maintaining 7 seconds, so still looking good for Dustin, even though he has to deal with the damage. But yeah, second place still looking nice for Dustin. It's lap 33, the penultimate lap now. Yeah, looks like the dust has settled, unless we're gonna get some last lap drama. But yeah, it looks like Beast is settled for P4, Perez settled for P5, Label is not settled for P6 because he has a fast charging X curve behind him. And with his penalties and a very worn medium hard set of tires, he's gonna have to defend all he can if he wants to finish 6th on track. But I don't think there's any point doing that because he may lose time to Drifting Pro behind him. And even then, he may lose that position to him as well. But please do cast your driver of the day vote in the chat below. Well, to me, driver of the day can be quite a few. BMG Lewis was quite a star for me. Dustin as well, but to me, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Tom. I mean, started last. This guy started last, and he's gonna finish on the podium. Not to curse him or anything, but yeah, all the way from last, and yeah, there's no denying that he is not in contention for driver of the day. As Axe Curve, actually Axe Curve, I think he made a mistake there as he's lost ground to Label Red Devil, and now he's maybe under pressure from Drifting Pro right behind him now. So the gap between Axe Curve and Label is about 4.6 seconds, so that technically is still enough for Axe Curve to get P6, but is it enough to stay ahead of Drifting Pro? As there's not much overtakes going on still. But BMG Lewis comes round the fast right, turn 9 and turn 10 for the last time. It's been a pretty interesting race, I would say. 2-stop is faster than the 1-stop, as BMG Lewis has proved. Round the final corner goes BMG Lewis, the championship leader. He takes the win here at Germany. Great stuff from the Scot. And yep, and Dustin comes round in P2, and well, pretty good race from Dustin, I would say, doing the alternate strategy. Tom finishes in P3, amazing stuff from Tom. And Beast Tornadoes finishes in P4 come the end of this race, as Perez holds on to P5. X Curve down in P6. Great stuff from X Curve. I think he recovered well from that grip penalty. Drifting Pro in the end got ahead of Label, so does X Curve. So yeah, Label's penalty really affected him a lot. Advanced Fish in P9. Dongarang finishes in P10. A point to his name. Denzel in P10. P11, sorry, just outside the points. And Rampage is 12th, Joe's in 13. RT retiring from the race, so I think he'll still get classified and get that fastest lap. So yeah, he's gonna, because I think he retired on the last few laps. So good stuff from well, it's been a great race, I would say. One of the better races I've watched, and great stuff from the top 3 drivers. All definitely deserve to be up there, and well, I'm sure at least one of them, 2 of them, will be pretty happy with this result. Dustin, unfortunate that he had that damage. Maybe he got that from that pit lane crash. We'll ask him later on in the podium interviews. But yeah, unfortunately I can't play the Scottish anthem, because national anthem, because that may get copyright. So that's unfortunate, to say the least. So I'll get the drivers into the party, and we can commence with the podium interviews very quickly. So this is your finishing race. Well, this is your race results. You guys can have a look for yourselves. Yep, there you go.
Oh, my arse hurts. Oh, shut up, Josh.
Alright, is everybody in? Yep, everybody's in. So that's good stuff. Okay, so we'll start from P3, like we always do. We do it reverse. So
Hey.
we'll start from Tom.
Yes.
Tom, well, what can I say? What a race from last
Yeah.
to the podium. Man, you're absolutely flying there. And
Yeah,
there's a bit of an echo, so maybe you guys can sort that out, please.
Sorry, that was me, probably.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, so Tom, I guess, well, I mean, were you expecting that quali ban? I think you were informed, right?
Well, I was informed on Wednesday that I was going to be getting a qualifying ban. I didn't like it. Didn't agree with it since it was pretty much a lag incident that caused me to get the qualifying ban. But I think maybe looking back now, that could have been the best thing that happened because we're turn one and then now we're lined into turn two. It's very narrow, very tight, and there's going to be accidents. Just the thought process was like Baku, just take the first lap easy. If there's an overtake, go for it, but don't risk it, and then just play along as the lap goes on. The first lap, very cautious. I just remember just very carefully, just trying to pick my spots to overtake, just trying to be very careful when it came to my tyres, damage as well. I was involved in a lot of battles from probably 17th to like 12th or 11th, but I think in the area that the one stop really provides that everyone else on the two stop just really gets the race ruined apart from Lewis who won the race. So I was able to just come my way through the field and then just slowly pick up my pace. Disappointed when I came in for my first stop. But with Perez, I think I had some incredible battles with Perez and Dongarang. He was lagging a little bit, but it wasn't too noticeable. And then I was behind. I don't know. I think it was behind Perez, and then when Lewis came out for a second stop, he was ahead of me, and then pretty much all chances of probably getting the win was over. But third place from last, I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, great stuff, and yeah, I think definitely deserved driver of the day. So congrats on the
nice.
podium and driver of the day. So
yeah,
we'll swiftly move on to P2, Dustin. So yeah, Dustin, you were challenging for the race win. So well, I think you picked up damage over the course of the race. So I think that ultimately affected your race in the end. So talk us through what happened.
Yeah, I don't know why I drove straight into the wall before the right hand at sector 2, which gave me a dark yellow damage, I think. Otherwise, I would have won, I think. Just unlucky. Have to work on my consistency for the next race.
Yeah, I thought that I managed to catch that incident because I was riding on board with you, and then I was like, did he get damaged? Because that was very close between yourself and the tire barrier, and that could have easily been a wheel off. But hey ho, I guess you can be happy with P2 after all that's happened, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, but it's kind of disappointing as well when you have the win inside and ruin it by your own mistake. But it's still okay, I think.
Yeah, great stuff. And congrats on your P2. And now, well, a race winner, BMG, Lewis. Man, rapid pace you had all over the course of the race, even in qualifying.
Yeah, the medium tires, They just felt amazing with Dustin's front line damage. I just kept on catching like a second every lap. I just kept it consistent. And near the end, I had 2 warnings, so I just slowed it down in the first corner. Just trying my best to conserve the tyres' fuel at the end once I passed Dustin, and that ultimately got me the win, to be honest.
Yeah. Did you over the course of the race, as you went for the second stop, do you think that you could have caught up to Dustin if you
No,
if you didn't know about the damage?
I didn't know that I had the damage at the time because Jeff didn't tell me because he hates me.
Ah, right.
And I was just sitting there. I'm just talking to Tom. I'm like, no, Tom, I can't win this. I can't. He's like, you can try. So I just kept on pushing and pushing, and I seen that gap go down. I looked at the laps, about 7 laps to go. It's like 3 seconds. I'm like, yeah, I can do this. So I just pushed to the car's limit. Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. Absolutely flying. Quick question, Dustin. Were you able to fix the front wing before you crossed the line?
What again? I didn't
Were you
answer
able
it.
to fix your front wing?
No, I ran the
No.
last
Oh, they
17 laps
didn't
with
change.
one wing damage.
Wow. A whole stint with front wing damage.
Yep.
He
Well,
drove amazingly
that
either
just
way.
sums. Yeah, that just sums up what a interesting race you had then, Understeer City, I would think.
Yeah, that's what caused me to get a penalty in the end because I understeered every time with tier 1. I'd be super
Ah,
cautious.
yeah. Anyway, I guess we could wrap up right now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to tune in to Tier 1 later on at 9 p.m. UK time. And this has been RFL Tier 2 Germany. And
Oof.
yeah, be sure to subscribe to this channel over here. And please give your feedback on the new overlays. We're testing the new overlays and graphics, so be sure to give your thoughts on them as well. And until the next race, which is later on with Morgs and Tom Gorian, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
That race was so boring. But just like P2, pit, overtook like 2 cars, pit again.